I've never wasted money on anything. I think about every single penny. You basically have to take my head off, Matt, and put a new head on me.
Right, okay.
For me to buy something without thinking about it. They always say, put your money in bricks and mortar, right? Absolutely wrong. Money Mum is saying now, wrong. I'd like to be in Panto, if that helps.
Right, okay. But is that because it's a fat paycheck at the end of it? Hello and welcome to Spent, brought to you in association with Nationwide, a good way to bank. It is the show where our guests show us the receipts. Literally, we dig through the things they've bought, the things they've loved, the things they regret, and the things that make absolutely no sense at all. And along the way, we will find out a little bit more about who they are. And today, I feel like it's our perfect guest for this show because it's someone whose life revolves around spending money, but in a sensible way. Gemma Bird.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fantastic, Gemma. It's so lovely to have you here. And as I said, probably the perfect person to come and talk about money because your whole life now is built around helping people with money.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the journey because obviously you weren't doing that before. What was the transition from regular Gemma to the Gemma who is here now?
So really, it was just, I had just a normal job. I've always struggled with money all my life. Always been really, really good at with my money.
What was your normal job?
I had a little online business selling stuff on Amazon at the time. And I went out for a coffee with a friend and I picked up a receipt in the cafe and she said, why are you doing that? And then you're probably not meant to do this, but it was in a well-known coffee store. And I was like, I'm looking for receipts, other people's receipts, because if they've not got the reward card, I'll come back and say, oh, I forgot to add these points onto my card. I don't think you're meant to do that, disclaimer, because I'm really poor, basically.
But an incredible thought.
Yeah, it is an incredible thought. So I was like, and then I come back the next time and then I get 3 cups of coffee. I'm on a really low income. And she was like, oh, really? Interesting. She was like, oh, because I'm an influencer and I earn X amount. And I was like, I'm sorry, what did you just say you earn? And she was like that. And I'm a bit of a, let's go for something. If it's not going to cost me any money, again, that's that sort of money mindset that I've just naturally got in me. I was just literally went home and I was unloading the dishwasher. I remember it so clearly. And I just looked across to my husband and I went, I'm going to become a big influencer. And he went, I'm sorry? I went, yeah, I'm going to pick my phone up. And I went, and I'm just going to be me, share my life, because I love being in front of the camera. I did performing arts when I was young. I thought it's a way of me performing.
Yeah.
I said, there's no outlay. It's an app. It's literally free to start. Massive tick for me. I love chatting. I love being centre of attention and being on camera. And I'm just going to give like money tips, but just not like almost Martin Lewis money tips. And he's an absolute legend, absolute icon. I love him. But just sort of as more general sort of tips like that I've always done, like the little things add up. So not like massive stocks and shares and investments, just the way I've done my life, because I've never been on a big salary. And also I was a little bit, it was just constant on social media. All it ever was I've at the Maldives, I've got the boot and shoes on, I've got a Louis YSL. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love seeing that. I love seeing all walks of life. I love people. Do you know what I mean? And I love the depths to everybody. And I think it's interesting. But it also was getting a little bit boring. Like, can't we just see a deal at Tesco's? Can't we just literally say, I haven't got any money today? Can't we talk about being broke? Let's talk about money. So I literally just started the page, picked my phone up and just started talking. And then I started doing Gemma's No Spend Days. And then everyone started calling me Money Mum. And another influencer messaged me, Nikki, if she's watching this, and she said, you need to change your handle to Money Mum, because that's what you're known as. Everyone calls you Money Mum. And I loved the idea of it. And I thought, do you know what, again, branding myself, again, because I'm a businesswoman as well. So I love it, Money Mum. And now, even when I come in here today, they went, oh, you're Money Mum. And people don't call me Gemma anymore. They call me Money Mum. And that's just basically how it started. It's just something I went for. And I'm loving it. I'm enjoying talking to people. I'm enjoying helping people. And it's changed my life as well. And I'm so forever, oh my God, grateful. And I'm very well aware that things can go tomorrow. So I'm just trying to enjoy the wave. But maybe that's because I'm a little bit older as well. And I think like I'm halfway sort of maybe through my life already. So I just need to enjoy every moment of this.
Yeah, and I think what shines through is the fact that this is authentic, right? This is you're not sort of there's not an act associated with this. It is genuine things in your life
Absolutely.
that you are sharing. And I think that sort of stuff feels incredibly valuable to people to go, oh, you found like a little life hack or a little way around this thing, or I'd not thought about it in that way before. Are you seeing the world slightly differently now? Because as a creator, you're always thinking, okay, well, I've got to share the next thing with people. Does your brain scan for a deal wherever you go?
This sounds awful, but no. I literally am exactly the same person. Like, I don't think like that. Like, when people go to me, how do you think of ideas? I know it sounds really weird. Like, if you actually look at my content, it's not polished at all. I'm a rubbish content creator. If you actually look on my page,
I disagree with that.
Awful.
I disagree.
I'm not this prim. I mean, I watch all these beautiful fancy accounts and I'm like, oh, I just can't do it. I just literally be sitting there. Like last night I was thinking, oh my God, I'm seeing people put up 5 different trees in their house and this, that and the other. Oh, I need to talk about that because people might think that's like they've got to put up 5 trees or they've got to book 4 pantos. So I just picked the camera up. You can even see it's blurrily filmed. I don't even think I've wiped the lens. And I'm just talking about it being Gemma. I just, every day, and I don't know how it's come to me every single day for 5 years, I just naturally will think, oh, that saves money, and I'll just put it on my stories just as and when I go or as and when I read it. I don't necessarily overthink about it. I do if it's obviously brand work and I've got to plan it in and I might think, okay, let's go and live on a Wednesday. But even that, they'll send me a brief, and all the brands I work with, I only work with brands genuinely that I really, really like. Or if I don't use them, I know that my audience use them and they'll want a discount code. So I'll actually say, guys, I know you want a discount code on this. There's one coming up soon and I've never used the product before. They've sent me it, but I've been asked for discount codes on it. So I'll do things like that because I'm money mum. It's like, it's not just about what I want. It's about you should be giving back as well. So I just think it's just the way I am. But I definitely am not a content creator. Like, I definitely not.
I hate to break it to you, Gemma.
Am I?
That's your job.
Is it?
You're a content creator.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But you know what? You're doing it in your own way. And I think it's that authenticity that people connect to. So we should talk about spending because this is spent. You are money mum. And actually, I'm interested in the very first thing that you remember saving up for and buying. Like, do you have a core memory of that?
Oh my God, yeah. So I used to walk to school and everyone used to have money. Obviously, I'm 44, so everyone used to drop money. So that was the first memory I've got of about age 6 or 7, walking along looking for pennies on the floor. I was obsessed with it. I was like, and I had a Kenco coffee jar and I used to put all my pennies in there. And I had a bit of paper and I used to write down like 10p and then the next day 12p and then the next day. And I used to do this in school, which again is really wrong, really looking back. But I used to be like, have you got 5p? Have you got 10p to all the people in the class that were given money? Because my parents never used to give me money. And then everyone would give you 10p, right? They wouldn't give you £1. But then I would take the money up and sew up with it. And they're going to be watching it, like my friends like Tina and Ruth and all these people that I went to school with. Now they know what I was like. And I would go home, and the first thing I saved up for was I wanted to take my mum for a meal.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, and I took her to, it was not the Harvester. Was it the Burney Inn? It might have been like the Burney Inn where you could get a float of coffee. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
The old school. And I remember I took her there. And then the next thing I saved up for was a TV for my bedroom.
And you did that through like tiny amounts?
Tiny amounts. I remember I washed my neighbour's car. Again, I was absolutely useless at that because I was pirouetting, singing and dancing and just living in Gemma world. I did mushroom picking. I did a paper round after school. And then I remember that I couldn't actually pick it up. So I needed a trolley. So then I knocked I was like, well, I'm not going to buy a trolley because that cost me money. So then there was the old lady, Winnie, down the road who had a trolley.
They've all got them. So I remember saying, Winnie, and it was like my little thing, like, Winnie, can I borrow your trolley? Like, and I just went out with this trolley and delivered these papers. And I just did absolutely anything and everything you could think of to earn a £1 note. Like, my parents weren't going to give me it. Yeah.
So I just literally grafted.
You got that hustle in you from an early age.
Yeah.
Then.
And I've still got it in me now.
Yeah.
Like, I look after absolutely every single solitary penny, even now. In fact, I need to chill out a bit. I'm 44. As I say, I'm halfway towards death. Do you know what I mean? I need to enjoy it a little bit and spend some bloody money. I need to actually spend. But yeah, I'm just...
So now if you were in the street and you saw a penny on the floor, you'd pick that up, right?
No, not a penny. I probably wouldn't now.
Would you not? See, I still pick up a penny.
Really? No, I probably wouldn't.
But
because I think more about germs in the house.
Okay.
I think that's just because I'm a mum now.
Yeah, fair enough.
So again, your honesty, you'll get from me.
Yeah. I think I'm like, I associate it with, it's a lucky penny. If I don't pick it up, maybe I won't get the luck. Maybe there's some superstition attached to it as well as thriftiness from my side. Okay, so you would... How long are we talking between deciding to start filling that coffee jar to being able to buy a TV?
Well, I remember the TV at the time. It was a square one with the back.
Oh, love those. Deeper than they were wide.
Yeah. And I remember it was £110. And I remember Mum and Dad said...
This is in the 90s. This is a lot of money.
Yeah, this is in the 90s. So Mum and Dad said to me, it would probably have been, I'll tell you when, because I left school in 1997... So it would have probably been around 1995 because I wouldn't have been allowed one in my room less than that because I had jet my hamster, but I weren't allowed. Mum and Dad were really strict like that, which I think is really good actually in my teenage years. And then they were very relaxed once I went to college. And I remember they said to me they were going to give me half towards the telly. So they were like, you need to save it up. And I reckon it took me about 6 months.
Really?
I reckon I was saving up a good few pound a week because I'd wash the neighbour's car terribly. And I remember he moaned about it and I had to rewash it. And my mum was like, well, that's a life lesson. If you want to do a job, you've got to do it well, Gemma. You can't just go out there and, because I just genuinely thought, well, I'll just scrap some water over it and get the fiver. You know, trying to do the lazy thing. I just want the money, really. I don't really want to wash your car. So that's like, again, life lessons and like mushroom picking and all these things that I did. I got the money quite quickly because I had lots of little jobs.
Yeah.
So it was just the way I was.
I love that. It's great.
Yeah.
Just sort of out there hustling all the time.
Yeah.
And what did your mum get for the meal when you had your meal?
I can't actually remember.
And why was that
so long ago?
So maybe the question is, why was it so important that you took your mum out for dinner? Why was that a thing? Because I think a lot of kids would sort of selfishly think, oh, well, I want this thing for me. What was it about wanting to do something for her?
I'm obsessed with my mum. I'm a real mummy's girl. I call her all the time now. She always says to me, you ask me for my advice and then do the complete opposite, which I always have done. Do you know what I mean? Again, I'm my own worst enemy with things. But I just like loved her and I just wanted to surprise her. And I think the joy that you get out of giving something, I just thought it was just something I really, really wanted to do. And I remember my best friend Jennifer, and we're still really good friends now from school. And I remember saying to her, that's what I wanted to do. And I'd always drag poor Jennifer into everything I wanted to do. And I'd be like, Jennifer, let's do this, or let's try and be famous, and she'd be like, oh God. And she just was not like that. And she says now, like, this just doesn't shock me that this is what you're doing in your job. Like, if someone had asked me years ago, I'd be like, yeah, she'll be on camera, or it'll be just something to do with money, or she'll be singing or pirouetting, or it's just who I am, I think.
You're sort of like part performer, part entrepreneur. And I feel like the two worlds have sort of met at this perfect point in your life.
I feel like it's the perfect job for me, and it's the first time in my life I'm like really, really happy doing it. Do you see what I mean? Like all my life I've wanted to do this, and it's so difficult. Like we were chatting about before this even started, didn't we? Like, how did you get into radio? And I've always been one of these people that grab every opportunity you can. So you're in radio, okay, tell me how you did that. Don't be jealous of that person. Ask how they got into it. Because if you got it, what's the reason that Radio 1 wouldn't book me one day? Exactly. And that's the way I look at life. Like, how did you do that? So then I might be able to do that. Do you get what I mean? I'm not there yet. So how can I get to your level? Yeah. And I've always done that with everything in my life. Like, I'll always say to that person, I'm so jealous of you, but in a good way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm jealous of that car. I'm jealous of that house, but not in a way of nasty jealousy. Yeah. Do you see what I mean?
I do understand. Yeah, it's like aspiration, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going, okay, I can see that a path has been carved. Give me the secrets. Yeah. How did it happen? Yeah. And then you can kind of go off and do it in your own way. And we should get to your first actual receipt. And it's a simple one, which is, what is the last thing you spent money on?
Literally, the last thing I actually spent money on was a Diet Coke last night.
Okay, now you told me earlier that you live on coffee and Diet Coke. And from a health perspective, I'm concerned, Gemma. I'm worried.
So bad. You make me sound so bad. Right. I love a coffee.
Yeah.
It's my thing. I'm not interested in designer clothes, all that jazz. So as I've got older and I've acquired more wealth, as we're talking about money, I always said if I had lots of money and I didn't have to worry about so much money anymore, I would go out for a coffee every day because I have terrible mental health. Going out and having a coffee for me and chatting to you, that makes my morning more than anything else.
It's like my wife. She's like a different person after having a coffee. And it is different. Having one out and about feels like a treat. It's like, okay, do you know what? I'm giving myself some worth by going out and doing this thing. And so I completely get that.
So so that side of it, like, I will now do that more often, and I do that. Me and my husband go out and we have a coffee. That's our treat. I mean, God, it's how sad and boring do I sound that is my treat.
Is there a price of a coffee that you balk at where you're like, do you know what? They're trying to charge me £6. I'm not doing it. Like, what's the most you're going to go to? Because sometimes you don't realise you go into like a sort of slightly bougie coffee place, and they charge you a crazy amount.
Yeah, coffee is so expensive. And when I was saving up for things when I was younger and I didn't have money, I never used to buy it out. I used to take a flask. And that's another thing. Like, I think buy what you can afford. Stop worrying about what other people. I can afford to buy a coffee now. But 10 years ago, if you asked me, I couldn't. Yeah. So it's all right saying, it's all right for you. I can buy coffee every day now. I couldn't 10 years ago, and I've worked for that and I've saved for that. You can't just get to that place. You have to work at it. Do you see what I mean? So if you're in your 20s now and you think, oh, I've got no money, I always think, well, Are you buying a coffee every day on the way to work and a thing? Because it's £10 a day. That's £300 a month, right? So stop doing that fat one. That's 300. That's a lot of money over the year you can save. And that's how I've always sort of been. But the Diet Coke last night was I just went out with school mums and I had to pay for a Diet Coke right at the end. That was the last thing I bought.
Right,
I just had one drink as well.
Just one drink?
Yeah, just one Diet Coke and then I had tap water.
Okay. My goodness
I'm
me,
so rock and
you
roll.
are living the craziest of lives.
I'm the most boring guest you've ever had.
No, not at all. We were chatting before, and I was saying I basically just drink water. That's even more boring.
Yeah, it is.
I've not even gone for the Diet Coke. And so is that like the going out with the school mums thing? How often are you doing that? Like, are you quite good at spending money on things for yourself, like nice experiences for yourself?
No, I'm not good at that at all. And I need to get better at that, actually, because I do think it's really important once you've got to a certain level and you've worked all your life. What are we working for? Like, if I die tomorrow, I don't need to be the richest person in the graveyard. Do you know what I mean? I need to find a balance. And I definitely think that's something I personally need to work on, because I would tell somebody else to find a balance and, enjoy it. My mum's always had the motto, spend half, save half. So no, I am bad at that. The school mums thing, it was a Christmas Christmas get together, and they're really, really nice. My daughter started school a couple of years ago, and I'm just getting to know them all. So I went to that, but I didn't go to the one they went to like a week ago, and a lot of them will probably listen to this, and I don't mind. And because it was a couple of £100 up London, and I thought, I'm not spending that up London. But my husband did actually say to me, but if you wanted to go, you could have afforded to have done that.
Yeah.
So I do need to shift my mindset. But I think it was because I was like, I just genuinely thought, well, I don't want to spend £200 on that. And I find that really, really, really hard, that I can do that now. But I'm like, it's still such a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. I don't think you ever kind of...
it's really hard to shift your mindset.
You can't really shift it. I used to run a market stall, right? And I sold magic tricks, trick decks of cards. And each one I sold for £6.50. And I still think of everything I buy in terms of decks of magic cards. I'm like, how many cards would I have to sell to buy that thing? I'd have to sell 6 decks. I know how much work that is to sell those. So I'm like, okay, is this really worth it? And obviously that was like 20 years ago. But it still has an impact now, where I still think, how many decks of cards is that going to be? So I think it is quite hard sometimes to shift the mindset, particularly if you've had to think about money in a way which forces you to budget.
Well, behaviour is the hardest thing to change, right? So you'll speak to an 80-year-old and they'll say, well, I did that. I've always done that my whole life. And you're like, you're 80 now. You've got 500 grand in the bank. You don't need to worry about £10. But they'll go home and get a coffee and a cake at home because they're like, well, it's £10. It's like, how much of your life have you got left to live? So it's important for all of us to learn where we are in our lives and at what point we are. So if you are in your 20s and you're struggling, and you are the opposite to, say, me and you, and your mindset, again, behaviour is the hardest thing to change. You're a spender. You need me in you, and I need a little bit of you in me, and it's trying to find that balance. But that's really hard. But I don't think we can get there as a human race unless we talk about money, unless we're more open with money like we're doing now. Yeah. Because my whole life, we've been brought up, everyone's always thought I'm really odd, even when I was young. Like, she talks about money. Everyone's always said that to me, like, oh, you shouldn't talk about money. Why? Talk about mental health, we talk about people's weight, we talk about whether you're going to have kids, we talk about whether you're straight, whether you're gay, we talk about everything. But we're not allowed to talk about money. It's actually the only thing that connects us all. Yeah. Because you all fancy different people to me, you will have different views on things to me, your taste will be different, but something that connects me and you, whatever job we do, is we both have to have money, don't we? And we've both got different amounts of money. And we both do different things with it. So why can't we talk about it? It's so weird to me.
That's why we're here, Gemma.
Yeah, it is
That's
weird.
why we're here. We're talking about it.
Good.
Okay, we've got the Diet Pepsi. It's out of the way. I don't imagine it will be the last one. We do need to move, though, on to your next receipt. And that is a purchase that you regret.
Oh, absolutely regret. It's the worst purchase as well. And I think it's really important that I talk about it. It's a property.
Go on.
So basically, they always say, put your money in bricks and mortar, right? Absolutely wrong. Money Mum is saying now wrong, because you have to do your research. So I'm going back to 2007. I bought a property up north. Didn't know the area. Didn't do my research, right?
Now, was this like an investment property?
Yeah, it's an investment property.
Okay, so you're going to rent it out.
Going to rent it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought this property. I went halves with my dad because I was on a low income, and I always stress this on everything. My dad has never given me a penny. My dad has no money. It was like me going into business with you. We're renting it 50-50.
Yeah.
So if someone didn't pay the mortgage, we both go 50-50, and we sold it for money. So my dad and me, we were like, oh, brilliant, we're buying it off plan. At the time, they were being sold for 125 grand. And we were picking it up for 102,000. It was a time where you could put down 5% deposit, so it was a really, really low deposit. We were like, this is a no-brainer. This is an absolute like whirlwind of investments. Bought this property, right? Thinking, oh, it's all going all right. Well, in 2007 I bought it. I bought it for 102,000, okay? We are in, what are we in?
2026, yeah.
And it's worth about 85 grand.
You're joking
No,
me.
I'm not. And I've kept it for all this time.
Oh my God, what was wrong
Yeah, look
with
at
it?
you. This is the worst investment. This is the worst.
Why is it gone
Look at
down
ya.
so much?
You're thinking I'm going to talk about a chocolate bar, aren't you?
No, why has it gone down so much?
Right, so basically, when I bought the property, the ground rent on it's really, really expensive. So it's got a gym and everything. So it's like a couple of grand a year. So people that are renting it or buying it are like, I'm not paying that. So then basically investors started selling them off at auction for like 65 grand. People paid like 125 grand. I paid 102. So it's a massive foul. I didn't know the area. All the development had already been done on that area, so there's nothing more to do. It's a really nice property and it's in a really nice area. It's not a bad area. It's just not moving. It's just not moving. And I'm all these years on, and it's interest only because the rent up there is really, really poor. So it's only like £400 a month, and the mortgage on it's like 500. So I'm actually in a negative.
Oh no.
Then they've flipped it with the government, isn't it, that you can't offset your mortgage on it anymore. So the whole thing's an absolute disaster, to be honest with you. But the only thing I'll say about it is I'm just keep renting it out, and I overpowering it by £100 a month, me and my dad. And we've brought the mortgage down. I think it's sitting around 88,000 now. So I'll probably have to keep it another 10 years. So at the moment, I'm not panic selling. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm just leaving it, and hopefully it'll break even, and one day I can just get rid of it. But I haven't made a penny on it. It's cost me money. It cost me around £1,600 a year. It could have been a lot worse a hit because a lot of people panic sell. So yeah, do your research and don't necessarily think that buying a property is going to be a pot of gold. I bought 2 others and that, but they were brilliant. But that is an absolute smackaroo of badness.
That is
You're stunned, aren't you?
I am stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think because of the time leap
I know.
between 2007 and now,
I know.
you'd think, well, surely. I mean, it must have gone. Like everyone says, like the market's always going up.
Yeah, well, it hasn't.
I mean, that's
Yorkshire
wild.
it's in.
Right. Okay. I guess the thing like
Anyone with any advice, help me.
the ground rent thing that's a stinger, right? That's
Yeah.
really hard. If it's two grand a year, that's a lot of money.
And I think it's more than that now. I think they put it up every year. And of course, that should be something that's sorted by the government, because these management companies, they can just do what they want. There's a big thing about it at the moment. So hopefully one day that will get rectified, that they can't penalise people and they can't just make up a number. Because effectively they could put that up to 5 grand.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrific. Do you know what I mean? And then they become almost worthless. So I would never, ever, ever buy a flat again to rent out because of the ground rents, unless they were like freehold, not leasehold, because there's just too much problematic around it. And I don't want it at 44. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to be into property at all. I have no interest.
Right, okay.
I have no interest. I just want a happy life. I don't need millions and millions and millions. I'm at a point now where I'm comfortable. I can go on holiday and I can buy a cup of coffee. And what more do I need? We get so greedy in this world with having more and more and more and more and more. Why is there trillionaires? Like, we don't need trillionaires. We really, really, not one person needs £1 trillion. It's absolutely ludicrous in my mind. Do you know what I mean? When there's children going hungry, adults going hungry, homelessness, it absolutely kills me. If I had that, I would try and sort the problem out tomorrow, because why is anyone hungry? It's disgusting. Like, because we're worrying about what Bentley we're driving. Like, what are we put on this earth for? Like, I can't get my head around it. Do you get what I mean? So for me, I just think, yeah, it's one of those, and I've just got to leave it. And it is what it is.
Okay. How often do you think about it? Do you think about it every day?
No.
Okay, good.
I really, really don't. I used to. It used to really, really affect me.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why it used to affect me, because I didn't have any money. And I was really, really hard up. But now I'm doing this job and I've become a lot better off. Like, I'm totally open about that. It doesn't worry me now because I've got the money to cover it. So I do think money also buys happiness, because when you don't have enough money, you are bloody miserable. And if you say, oh, no, it doesn't, well, you've never been in a situation where you can't put food on the table for your kids, or you've not got enough money to put a roof over your head or to clothe somebody. Because when you've not got that, and we've been in situations where we're really, really hard up, you are miserable. I do feel that's one thing in my life that I don't have to worry about paying my mortgage each month. And that is a pressure that is off me at the moment. I'm not saying it would never happen again. I could lose my job tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But at the moment, it's a lovely pressure that I don't have.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, the money buying happiness thing is interesting, because I don't think I think happiness is the wrong word. But what I think it can do is it can lift anxiety.
Yeah.
And anxiety can create a really unhappy place.
Well, yeah.
I think you can be rich and miserable.
Of course you can.
And I think you can be poor and happy. But I think it's like the bandwidth of worry that can be taken away by not having to do that thing of going, right, I'm going to save every 10p in a pot, and it's a lot of mental load, isn't it, to be like, right, I'm going to carry that as well.
So many people, when you talk about it and you say to them, what's the thing that worries you? What's the thing that affects you? I can honestly say most people's answers are money.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying money doesn't buy you love. It doesn't buy you genuine friendship. It doesn't buy you any of that. Do you get what I mean? And it doesn't solve problems that are unsolvable by money.
Mm.
There's lots of things that I can't change in my life that I could have all the money in the world and it doesn't change it. But that pressure of bills and food on the table, I just think I would love a world where we've all just got enough for that. Do you know what I mean? Anything else is a bonus. And there's always going to be people richer than you, and that's great. Good luck to them. But it's just sad when there's people struggling to like put nappies on their baby and things like that.
Mm.
And we've got, on the flip side, a trillionaire. You know, it just doesn't seem, it's not right, is it?
Yeah. Sounds like someone needs to start a campaign.
Yeah, I do probably. But
You probably do. You might be the person for it. But let's move on to our final receipt. And I want to know the most ridiculous thing that you've spent money on.
Right, I've been thinking about this for days because they sent me this over and they asked me. And I'm really, really open and honest. And I'm going to honestly say to you, and I'm not going to give you the answer you want, absolutely nothing. I've never wasted, I'm being genuine on my children's life. I've never wasted money on anything. I've never bought anything ridiculous and thought, why did I spend money on that? I can honestly, genuinely, hand on my children's life, say that. I've never wasted money on anything. I think about every single penny. And that is just literally built in me. So I can't give you an answer. I have genuinely never bought anything that I thought, I'll just buy that without thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because that would literally be completely and utterly, as you say, like, this is who I am. Like, I can't change it. It's like, you basically have to take my head off, Matt, and put a new head on me.
Right, okay.
For me to buy something without thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be something like impulsive, but more, maybe there's something that's quite specific to you where you're like, do you know what? I'm not sure other people would want to spend money on this or see the value in it. But for you, it was justifiable. No.
No, I don't really think there is.
No.
I'm so boring. Like, I don't have loads of like lavish things. I've got the odd really nice handbag, but that's more my husband's bought me for Christmas.
Do you
and
have hobbies?
I like singing and dancing and saving money.
Singing, dancing, and saving money. It's basically your Instagram bio.
I'd like to be in Panto, if that helps.
Right, okay. But is that because it's a fat paycheck at the end of it?
Oh, no, I love the performing in live theatre. So, yeah, I mean, to get paid for it as well, I mean, I'll do it for free, so that's an absolute bonus.
You can get into Panto.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. That's
Yeah,
going to be my
I
next
reckon
thing.
next year. What's the one you want to go for?
Oh, I don't know any would do, but I said it to my mum the other day, and she was like, well, you're getting a bit old now. You'd have to be the old witch or something. And I was like, no, I want to be like Belle or something. Like, I still feel young at heart. I was like, I'll just have more Botox, surely.
I think you can get away with being Belle. I think that's
thanks,
quite
babes.
all right.
Oh, I'll pay you later.
So okay, this is a fascinating thing because most people, I think, or certainly people I've spoken to, they're like, oh yeah, there's that thing. No one understood why I bought that thing. It was a bit silly. I don't think I've ever met anyone who's got the level of kind of internal dialogue about money that you have. It feels like everything is being processed. Are you still like spreadsheeting everything? Are you still keeping on top of it all in the way that you were?
I never have done spreadsheets. My husband does because he's a spreadsheet person. I'm really dyslexic, so I reading, struggle with. I don't like anything written down. I like talking, but it's just all in my mind. I remember things all in my mind. I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely a bit of an oddball. I'm not like everybody else. I always say that. Like, I feel like my personality is different. I always feel that I'm weird. So probably am really weird. So yeah, it's just the way I am. Like,
your mission statement is to go, I want to help people. I want to help. Like, it's almost like helping you in the past, you know?
Yeah, and because I am so believing like all the little things add up. Because I'm not like a financial whiz. I got an F in maths. I'm not brainy at all. But I'm just good at saving money, and I believe I could take any single solitary person in this building and make them better off. I genuinely believe it. And I do that all the time. Like I had an influencer around last week and she texted me and said that she had earned a set X amount of money in 1 week listening to me. And it was a lot of money.
Wow.
And I just think it's just changing your mindset with so many different things. I don't think it is always about stocks and shares and investments and, you know, and all this thing. Yes, I do have some stocks and shares, but I think it's about having a spread portfolio. So if you do want to invest, like, don't put all your eggs in, like going 10%, like 100% risk in like a stocks and shares. Put some in, but put what you can afford to lose, or put something in over long term. Do pensions, do property, do just an everyday saver, fill your ISA up. Like, I'm just about, I think that's where I'm a worrier. And I think that maybe that makes me good with saving money because I worry that it's all going to go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a thing.
Yeah, it's quite. Are you quite an anxious person?
Oh my God, I have probably the worst mental health. I would like to say probably the worst mental health of anyone you probably ever have on this podcast.
Oh right, okay.
It's horrific.
How does that manifest itself? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, it's just terrible. Like most mornings, I don't want to get up. So like this morning, I got up because I had to because I was coming to see you. But I can easily just sleep all day. Like I can't wake up. As you say, money doesn't buy happiness like that. And I don't have things to worry about as such. I've got my husband's the most nicest person in the world. Like, I'm obsessed with him. My children are absolutely, I'm obsessed with them, adore them. I've got a mum, I've got my sister, I've got my friends. But I just, it's more me. It's more a me thing. Like I think, oh, people don't like me or I overthink everything or, yeah, it's just, it's awful. It's a horrible way to be and live.
Has that always been the case?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anyone about it? Or?
Yeah, I am. Oh, yeah. I've been to the doctors. I'm on medication for it. But I don't think it gets better. Sometimes I think it's worse. So, like, I try to walk, I try to get up. But it's quite good for me to have a plan. So if I know today, like, Molly texts me from my PR and was like, right, you're here today. That's actually a good thing because it changes my mood. Like,
yeah,
I
bit
come
of
in
structure,
and I see I need structure. And I'm not very good at structure, which is really weird because I'm good at saving money. But I'm not particularly organised. So I'm just, that's what I said. I'm a bit of a strange one. I'm definitely a strange character.
I'm sorry to hear that about the anxiety. I also have, or certainly had, really bad anxiety. And it was crippling. It's horrendous. Couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Really
Did you
bad.
feel like you were going inside your mattress? That's what I say. Like
yeah,
a
little bit like that.
Inside it.
I think I was so sort of lost in catastrophizing and thinking like, oh God, worst case scenario. Always sort of living in an imagined
I do that all the time.
terrible future.
Glass is never half full with me.
Yeah.
It's empty, mate, and it's leaking and pouring.
Yeah.
Running
It's got
down
some
the stream.
holes in the bottom.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that you're able to talk about that because I think it's the classic thing of on the surface level, you seem like the most joyful, bubbly, sort of, you've got the most infectious personality. And so to sort of to be able to have the vulnerability to be able to say, oh, actually, it isn't always that. In fact, most of the time it isn't that. I think that's quite powerful. And I think there'll be lots of people that hear you talking about that in the sort of honest and authentic way that you have. And it might give them a lot of reassurance.
Yeah, because I think, like, you don't know, like, I do think, like, what anybody's going through. And that's why I think it's so important that it is talked about, especially online. Because obviously sometimes people will troll me. Like, people always talk about you behind your back, but you don't actually hear about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I walked out now and said something rude about you, the blessing is you don't know about that. And it doesn't affect your mental health. When it's written down, you can. So I just think it's so important, even that, like, people listening with, like, trolls or anything, like, whoever it is, not me, because I don't get particularly badly trolled. And I'm lucky on my Instagram, I don't really get anything. Like, and if I do, I just literally block. I don't tolerate that at all. It's my space. Get bugger off. Do you know what I mean? But it is so, it's worrying that, that we've got young people online and all this goes on, because that's why it is important that we do keep talking about it, whether you're bubbly, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whoever you are. Because, like, words really, really can affect people and you can overthink things. So if you've already got anxiety, and it's not just people that are putting themselves out there in the public eye, content creators, celebrities, whatever you want to call this new generation, because it's not TV stars anymore, is it? It's the influencers that are now the new celebrities. Whatever that is also affecting, like, school kids. You don't have to do this. You're not just putting yourself, do you know what I mean? If you just got a little private account, they're trolling them at home and things like that. That's what worries me as well.
Yeah. I get that. I see that. I hope that through whatever means you're able to lessen the worry a bit.
Yeah.
I think you probably owe it to yourself to like,
Chill out.
well, not chill out, but I don't know, show yourself sort of an internal level of kindness?
I will try, Matt.
Please do.
I will.
Now, before we get to your final spend and find out what you spent your £25 from Nationwide on, I've got an email here, and I figure you might be the perfect person for this because people often contact the show with questions. They want advice.
Okay.
I got nothing to give them, but thankfully you have. So we've got a message here, and it says, it's from Ellie. It says, I bought a £60 aromatherapy candle because I wanted to feel classy. Then accidentally burned the entire thing in one night while stressing about work. Do I invest in more fancy candles and embrace this lifestyle, or accept that I'm not emotionally stable enough for luxury wax? I think I already know your answer, but please share it with me, Gemma.
I think it's fine that you treated yourself, and it's everything is about how you feel in life, how a person makes you feel, how a product makes you feel. If you can afford it and it's not going to get you in debt, and buying that £60 candle made you feel gooey inside and gave you absolute joy, then that was absolutely worth the £60. If you actually only had 100 quid in your account and you spent 60 quid on a candle and now you're worrying about money for the week, then it's a really bad idea. So I think it depends on you and your situation with what you buy. If not, a candle can still make you feel special. You could buy a lovely candle from Aldi for £2.99. They honestly do great dupes in there. And you could buy one in there and have that burn and that smell and still relax and have a candle. And why not treat yourself to a face mask and something else as well for that 60 quid? Get more for your money if it was me. Or actually, I would buy the £2 candle, a face mask, and maybe have like a glass of wine or a drink, whatever you enjoy, and then put the rest of the money in a savings account.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I do feel like you're burning money. But again, it's also...
You're literally burning money.
You're literally burning money. But if you enjoy that... Like, I've always wanted a Jo Malone candle. But not to light, just to have on the side so people think I'm doing well in life because it's got the bow. Just
Yeah,
so
like
sad.
A little status symbol, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, but really, I just want one gifted or someone to buy me it, really, because I'm not actually going to light it.
Yeah.
So would I really get the enjoyment? I don't know. So yeah, that would be my advice. If you can afford it and you want to do it, then great, buy it again. But if you're in, if you didn't really get any enjoyment out of it and you saw it as a bit of waste of money, then still have the candle or just buy a cheaper one.
Yeah, I'd say just set a reminder. Pop the candle on, set 20-minute timer to go and blow it out. Because I do the same thing as well. Got ADHD, so I'm like, light a candle and then I'll just forget it's been lit, which is both a fire hazard and a waste of money. So setting an alarm and being like, Alexa, remind me in 20 minutes that I need to go and blow that candle out would be good.
Yeah, brilliant.
But I do quite like a scented candle.
Oh, I love candles. I'm always lighting them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not expensive ones.
No.
My friend did buy me an expensive one the other day because my daughter's name is Bronte and she bought me a candle called Bronte. And I looked it up and I think it was about 40 quid, I want to say. And it's just so lovely. But now I can't light it because I know it's 40 quid, which is really stupid. And if she's listening, she'll be like, I want you to light the candle. I want you to enjoy the candle. But I'm not sure whether I ever will.
I sometimes get gifted candles, because it's the gift you get someone if you don't really know anything about them.
Yeah, I love a candle gift.
I like the candle gift as well, but I like to get them and then re-gift them. And actually, I think in a way, there's probably just a Ponzi scheme of the same candle that's gone around everybody.
Is it a Jo Malone one? Can you gift it me?
I've sadly not got it because my wife intercepts them. So sometimes I'll get given a candle and I'll sort of hide it away thinking, right, I'm going to gift that on. And then she'll find it and light it. And I'm like,
that's the same with kids' birthday presents. The kids get a load of things at they have a birthday party.
Yeah.
Obviously, half of those, when Bronte's opened them, or Brody doesn't really get in now because he's 13, so they more give money, the mums. So I'm like, right, well, you've got 42 presents, if there's 42 kids or whatever. I'm like, well, more than half of those. So as she's opening them, I'm like, present cupboard, present cupboard, present cupboard.
Big
just
time.
siphoning them off.
Yeah, you just
and
got to
then,
remember.
and then you've got to remember not to give them to the same child.
Same person, yeah.
Oh, I bet I've done that.
I once had, this is awful, right? I once got given a
so funny.
a Game of Thrones cake book.
I hope they're not listening to this. The person that
I hope they aren't as well. Although they know what happened. Got given it, and it's my friend Catherine, and I had forgotten that she'd been the person who got me this book, and it was just on my shelf, untouched, and I was panicking because about 2 years later, I was like, I've got her in a Secret Santa. It's like, okay, what am I going to do? I thought, She likes Game of Thrones and she likes baking. I'm going to give her that book that I've got, forgetting she got it for me.
Oh, no.
And she'd
Stop it.
signed the inside of it, Gemma. She'd written, to Matt, Merry Christmas.
This is brilliant.
From Catherine. I didn't check it. So I just wrapped it up and gave it to her. And she opened it. She was like, oh. She went, did you? You went out and bought this. I was like, yeah, I thought you'd like it. She opened up and it had her message to me inside.
Oh, what did she say?
Well, I mean, I just got rumbled. She was like, you've regifted it. It's the one I gave you. And I was like, hands up. I completely forgot you got that for me. And yes, I did. I was in a panic. But we're good enough friends that it was fine.
Oh, no. So who's actually got... I want to know who's got the book now. Does she?
She's got it.
Back? Oh.
No, she's still got it. Yeah,
She's like, well, if you don't want it...
She's going to give it back to me this
Yeah.
Christmas. I'm almost certain of it, yeah.
Oh, my God. I would so do that to you. Do you know what I did one year? It's so funny. I bought this perfume from like Debenhams or somewhere, and they gave me a free gift, and it was an alien perfume, and they gave. It's making me laugh thinking about it. They gave me an alien necklace as a free gift. Who the hell wants it? It was the most hideous thing you have ever seen in your entire life. Still like, with this bloody piece of cord round it. I mean, hideous.
Right.
But I thought it was so bad. I'm going to wrap that up and give it to my best mate for Christmas. And I wish I'd been there when she opened it, but she phoned me straight away and she just literally put something like, oh, you take the piss. And I was laughing. I was texting Matt saying, what? It's so nice. Do you not like it? So sometimes things like that are the fun. And it was probably the best Christmas gift she's ever been given because it's memories. See?
I'm in a constant gift swap with my friend Preston. We got given a board game which is very bad, and
That's so bad.
and it's never been opened. But
Right.
we played it at an event. We're like, this is the worst thing anyone's ever played, and so we just keep trying to give it back to each other as gifts. And it can sometimes be years in between it. And we're both we know what it looks like, so we have to disguise it as other things, and then try and gift it to the other person. And then, hope to not receive it again.
Brilliant.
And
I
it
love
just
it.
goes back and forth. It's been going on about 15 years. Well, thank you very much, Ellie. I hope that helps you out. And, enjoy the candle if you get another one. But remember to blow it out, for goodness sake. If you fancy getting involved in the show and want to send a message, you know what to do. You can send an email to spent@seriouslypopular.com. I want to know about your purchasing successes and failures, and any questions you might have as well. We're going to get to your final spend now. So Nationwide gave you 25 quid, which I imagine you were absolutely buzzing about.
Yeah, free money.
Free
Who
money.
isn't?
The one caveat was that you had to spend it on something that you wouldn't normally buy, that you hadn't bought before. I'm intrigued. What did you do with your £25?
Bought one of them silk bonnets.
You
Yeah.
say that like I know what that means.
Well-
A silk bonnet. I'm immediately thinking of like an Easter bonnet.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Right.
Because my friend said to me the other day she sleeps in one. You put it on your head at night,
Okay.
and it's meant to like make your hair better.
How?
And as you were paying for it, I thought, well, I'll get one of those.
A silk bonnet. So you sleep in it.
You sleep in
So
it.
the hair goes into it.
Your hair goes into it,
Right.
and I'm really obsessed with like looking after my hair. But it's my thing.
You've got excellent hair.
Thank you.
Even pre-sleep bonnet.
Thanks,
I
Dal.
can only imagine what it's going to look like after.
Well, it's going to be like tassels of. I mean, I do look after my hair, but yeah, you put it in this thing, and it's meant to stop hair loss. But then I've already thought that I've got now thinking about it. Actually, see, I didn't think about it because it wasn't my money. I've got a pillowcase that does that, so it's probably the same thing. But because it weren't me paying for it,
Yeah.
I'm very good at spending other people's money. I mean, that's really easy.
Well, I have it here.
Oh yeah.
Because we're going to add it to our shelf. So you'll get your own one, but this
Oh,
one will stay as a
brilliant.
sort of memory of you. It's a satin hair
That's it.
turban.
That's it. That's
There it is.
Yeah.
Protect hair while you sleep.
Yeah. See?
It's done it. Upgrade your hair care routine.
Whether this works or not. See, so I always think, is this a bit gimmicky and wouldn't necessarily pay out for it?
It minimises frizz and breakage while you sleep.
There you go.
I didn't realise frizz and breakage was happening when I sleep. Maybe I need a satin hair turban.
You need one.
Well, sadly, that one's yours. Would you do me a favour and pop it on the shelf behind you
will.
there?
Just there's all right, is it?
That's ideal. I can't even imagine how luscious your locks are going to look
I
when I
know.
next run into you.
Amazing.
And I'll feel partly responsible.
You 100% responsible.
Well, I'll feel 100% responsible in that case. Gemma, Money Mum, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Spent, brought to you in association with Nationwide, a good way to bank. Seriously, thanks for coming on. I really enjoyed that. I loved how open and vulnerable and sort of fascinating that chat was, and I feel like I could have spoken to you all day.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Only limited by the time constraints of this podcast. So I really enjoyed it. Thank you for that. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure you follow us wherever you get your podcast and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. And don't forget, keep sending me your own spending confessions. I love to hear them. And we will see you next time with another guest as we take a journey through their purchasing past. We'll see you then. I really hope you are enjoying Spent. If you want to see more, then follow us wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe on YouTube. Plus, check out This Is Money on Instagram and TikTok for bonus content with our guests.